What is up, everybody? It's Silver Steve here today. And today we have another post where people are saying how Xbox Game Pass is bad once again. Another doom and gloom. Xbox Game Pass is going to ruin the industry and all this other nonsense. And the new narrative is going by UK physical copies of games sold in the UK, which most of these people complain are in America. So I don't know what's with the whole fascination with the UK sales got all of a sudden. I don't know. It's just they'll use anything they can to get to say the PlayStation is good and Xbox is bad. Whatever they can do to get that narrative out there, because you can ask these people, so what's the gaming store that's in the UK? Or what's the popular gaming chain in the UK? They won't know without having to use Google. You can ask them, what's a UK game developer in the UK? Without them using Google, they wouldn't have no idea. But apparently, they're just fascinated with the sales in the UK for games. So it's just mind-boggling. They will use anything for a W to say the PlayStation is better. So this guy's post says, Xbox Game Pass has conditioned its gamers to not buy games. These are two clear examples of that Guardians of the Galaxy at 82% on PlayStation and 18% on Xbox. Capcom software shipments for 2021 only 400K on Xbox compared to 2.75 million on PlayStation. This will now end well for Xbox. They keep saying that, but Xbox is still here. Xbox is still ticking. Third party companies are still making their games for Xbox. So I don't know what the big deal is. We already know PlayStation sells more than Xbox. Like, why do you gotta keep reiterating that same notion? And it's like, and there's so many factors just missing. Like, they're only counting the physical game sales. A lot of people buy digital nowadays. So that's the thing. Then it depends on the whatever area you're in. Like, I think UK has more probably for PlayStation anyway. That's definitely. I think PlayStation is definitely a lot bigger brand there than Xbox anyway. So there's a lot of factors to this whole thing, but it's just so ridiculous. Xbox people are not buying games anymore on Xbox. Is what you're trying to say? Like, it's just dumb. This is the most stupidest statement. I'm pretty sure if companies feel like we're not getting enough sales on Xbox, they will stop making games for Xbox. Then it was like, oh, at that point, but it's just dumb. It's really dumb. So let's read some of these comments. Ponies are still bragging about paying more. You love to see it. Nothing wrong with paying more if you get to see more from the developer. Why would I buy a game if it's in Game Pass? That's also a point too. Unless you just want to actually keep it. I don't see if you beat the game in Game Pass, it's like that's like the same thing. Like if you watch a movie on Netflix and you're done with the movie, you're probably not gonna watch it for a while. Then I don't see a reason to buy it. It's like maybe if you really enjoy the movie, you want to watch it like numerous times, but it's the same concept here. It's like I don't see why is this a big deal with how somebody consumes their gaming needs. If it's a rental service, if you actually buy it outright, why do these people care so much? Why do they care? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Different is you end up paying more for the game you play on Game Pass, even though you're just renting or borrowing the game, especially if you played that game for numbers of years. If you're playing just one game out of the hundreds of games they have, then sure, that wouldn't make any sense. But most people are playing multiple games out of the 100 games they got. So let's see. Physical sales mean jack for either platform, where anywhere from 60 to 90% of sales are digital. Microsoft will become a publisher eventually, drop Game Pass and focus on cloud services for gaming companies. Seems like that would be a natural evolution for them. This is not meant as a dig on them. I'm sure it's not, buddy. I'm sure it's not meant as a dig at all. They could be a successful publisher and already show they know how to develop cloud. Microsoft is planning to spend billions of dollars in building 50 to 100 new data centers every year. As it expands its Microsoft Azure cloud footprint, the company says it will move its data center presence in 10 new countries by the end of this year. Why are you so concerned about Xbox? You worried they might run away? I want to know that too. Why they hate Xbox so much? But all they do is talk about Xbox. It's just weird. For a person who hates Xbox. And then I heard that he bought an Xbox Series X too. It just doesn't make any sense as well. Game Pass is making Xbox irrelevant. I can see third parties skipping Xbox or making more deals with Sony if this keeps up. Why do you even got to make deals with so? That's the other thing too. Why is Sony acquiring all these different deals with these different companies if it's just gonna sell more on Sony anyway? Why even do that? Like, why do that to begin with? It's like a waste of money, in my opinion. If there's they gotta have these like exclusive PlayStation deals, why do that to begin with? If it's gonna sell more on PlayStation to begin with. If Xbox is just no threat whatsoever. Funny because actual developers and publishers are seeing and saying the exact opposite. Developers love it, gamers love it, Microsoft and Xbox financials for gaming are better than ever. Seems like it's pretty darn well. Then another thing with this whole, oh, I forgot about this point too. The whole people like to say Xbox Game Pass is doom and gloom. Why is buying games on Xbox? Then why do these Xboxes just keep selling then? Each time I try to find one of these Xbox Series X's, especially the Halo one, it's always sold out. And like the regular Xbox Series X sells out quickly as well too. But especially for that special edition Halo one, you can't even find that anywhere. But you know, Xbox is about to become third party. Game Pass is ruining gaming. Okay. The phrase "I'll wait for Game Pass" is used far too often. It's funny they keep saying that people say they wait for Game Pass, but I never hear anybody actually say that. I'm not gonna wait for Guardians of the Galaxy to go on Game Pass for a possibility that might not happen. I was like, if it's a game I like, I'm gonna buy it. Like I bought Guardians of the Galaxy on Xbox because I wanted to play that game. It looks, I don't get what this narrative they're trying to push is right here. So why the f would someone that subscribes to Game Pass buy a physical version of a game of that game that's in Game Pass? What are you trying to say? Okay. Uh, I think those figures are only physical sales. The digital sales are all bundled up into full game downloaded. They are all combined into the total at the bottom row. I don't feel like myself that I spent any less on Xbox before or after Game Pass. Just now, my money goes elsewhere. Haven't picked up Guardians of the Galaxy yet, solely for Black Friday being right around the corner. Even though I get it digitally, so my sale won't count any chart at that regardless. Yeah, you got that option too. Like you can wait for a sale. Like it's just mind boggling that people just wanna gatekeep how people want to consume gaming. Like people want to wait for a sale, they want to use rent it from Game Pass, they just want to buy it outright. Who cares? I don't care if someone spends their money. Who cares? Notice there's only PlayStation fanboys that have a problem with Game Pass. The only fan base, they are literally the only fan base who has a problem with Game Pass. I haven't seen no PC guys talking about it like that. Well, I guess because Game Pass is on PC. I haven't seen no Nintendo guys talk about it like that. Stadia. No other gaming community talks about Game Pass more than PlayStation guys do. And then they have PS Now, which is the Game Pass equivalent, but that's not. I guess PS Now isn't a problem with Game Pass is. Like, knock it off. It just makes no sense. What he really meant, the shrimp character from the Muppets, is pretty funny. Uh, Now show digital sales. Facts. Game Pass will ultimately be what is the Xbox. Wow. These comments are just getting ridiculous. I'm not buying Guardians of the Galaxy because of Game Pass. I'm not buying it because Black Friday is very near. This guy is fish for life by feeding a divide. Not to mention retailers not stocking physical copies of many games compared to the PlayStation version because of Game Pass and first games into pre-orders. You'd rather spend $7 on one game than have Game Pass with 100 plus game selection? Face palm. Oh yeah, let's draw conclusions based on nothing. LOL clown. Let's see. Number of Xbox Game Pass members 15 million. Cost of annual Game Pass Ultimate $180. 2.7 billion per year plus physical copy sales. PlayStation 2.7. So okay, so they print like the different how much they're making off each one. I'm sure they'll be fine, major. Yeah, if Xbox wasn't making money, why would they continue the Game Pass service as it is? Like, I I hate when you see like these fanboys try to be like backseat or court or couch analysts, video game analysts, and video game set analysts. It's like I'm pretty sure the people who run these billion-dollar, million, and billion-dollar companies or trillion-dollar companies know what they're doing at this point. I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing more than you do. Um, my financial responsibilities are actually the reason, friendo. I'm curious. Let's read some of these quote tweets. See what they say in the quote tweets. This clown wonders if they know Xbox is owned by Microsoft, the company who could buy Sony 10 times over and still have change. Keep up the salt for paying $70 for a game. This guy was really funny. It's like that's the fact that we're talking about Microsoft, one of the richest companies on the entire earth. It's like people want to be backseat gaming analysts for these companies. It's just insane. It's just so ridiculous when you think about it. Gotta love the elementary school business logic. Yeah, because it's just mind-boggling. It kind of leaves you speechless when you think some random fanboy did they know about more. They know more about business than Microsoft, a $1 trillion company. Like it's just like wow. I'm sorry, but have you ever heard of digital gaming, dude? Yeah, like that. Like that's a big impact on gaming since the last what is the last like 2 decades. Well, not when digital gaming got like real prevalent. Probably like during the Xbox One and PS4 generation, where buying digital games got really prevalent. So, especially in the console space, it's always been prevalent in the PC space for a long time. But yeah, it's like digital takes up a big chunk of the market, which is just not being counted for in this list whatsoever. So it's kind of a big stretch to say how much these games are really selling. We don't got all the data to make a conclusion with. Uh, And that's a great thing. The future of gaming and streaming, just like movie and music industry, it's great to have access to a lot of games just by paying a subscription fee. Oh, well, my dear Xbox, please tell us how you aren't being brainwashed. I wonder how many more examples are we going to need before people finally admit that Game Pass has conditioned most people on Xbox to not buy any games. This narrative is so dumb. You know, if I wasn't making these videos, I might actually mute like certain words on Twitter, like Game Pass, because there's always gonna be some Sony, it's always gonna be some salty fanboy complaining about Game Pass. It's not gonna be Xbox fans saying how much they love Game Pass. You're gonna see more salty posts about how much PlayStation fans just hate the service for some reason, or a service they claim not to be so bad they just can't stop talking about it. That's what I would do if I wasn't doing these YouTube videos. I would probably mute Game Pass at this point. Because these comments like this are just so dumb at this point. And so Xbox people are just not buying games anymore. That's just a hard thing to believe at that point. I'm pretty sure Microsoft was pretty happy with the amount of sales they get on the Xbox service for the digital games or physical. Let's see. What the hell? Guardians of the Galaxy 82% sales on PlayStation, just 18%. Salty is absolutely right. Xbox conditioned their customers for not buying games. More of this narrative. So I'm gonna include it right here. You're gonna lose some brain cells reading through some of these comments. People legit believe that nobody's buying games on Xbox. When it's literally like there's literally no tab on Xbox, so you can see the highest rated games or the games that are selling the most for right now. And I'm pretty sure the Guardians of the Galaxy Digital was like it was high up there. So I just don't get this whole narrative. But they would do anything to say that their plastic box is better than the other plastic box. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely share your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. As always, thanks for watching and peace.